yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Like 10 minutes short. 5 10 minutes short, but still, I got it together. Thank you, Starbucks and Meerkat for giving me the illusion of doing something right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. At least you got done. So I mean,
Yeah,
that's the main thing.
why not?
I mean, it
Woo! Yeah.
takes some effort from other parties out there, some third parties, but we got it done. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
Starbucks is a good
Actually,
spot.
well, it's a great spot. It's I well, to be honest, when I first started doing my podcasting back in 2005, I was actually doing them from Starbucks because I was homeless.
Right,
So
right,
it was not, and they don't look at you funny like they do at some other places where you can hang out and have coffee when you like set up like a microphone and shit like that and start,
right.
you know.
They get nervous,
No, they
especially.
don't. They just look at you oddly because here in New York City, a lot of people think that coffee shops uh, like Starbucks without Wi-Fi are the new libraries, and so shut the fuck up.
Yeah, yeah, they are. Yeah, exactly.
I actually had somebody
Bring your
tell me to
reading
be
material.
quiet because this is not shh you know that's all. It's like, dude, it's not a
Yeah,
library. People talk. Get used to it, you know. So yeah,
yeah. So they want like a library environment where
well,
everybody's
no,
just
yes,
sipping
you've
on their
got your
coffee.
background music, and God help you if you're doing anything else. You know,
Yeah,
you're interrupting
exactly.
my reading in the library.
Yeah, you're
Oh
obviously
yeah,
a commie.
actually it was the Starbucks cafe at Barnes and Noble. Guy got really
Ah,
mad at me because I
right,
inadvertently I didn't I just briefly listened to something without plugging my headphones in, and it got very irate. The
right,
the slob of a right winger got very irate. Um, he moved from one table to another when it became available, and he had like the stack of books that he just like left on the other table.
right.
So I started in on him about leaving a mess for other people to clean up, and he was like very pissed off at me. I was
It's
right.
kind of like Borders. It's kind of like Borders in the mall where they have the little coffee shop and Borders books and whatever the hell it is there, Borders books and whatever.
Yeah,
But
but
they got a little coffee shop inside the bookstore there too. So yeah, kind of like that. Where people look at you if you bring in all the other hardware. They go, "What the hell? I'm
everybody,
trying to read a book here, damn it."
no, no, I mean it's like really like you know put your Sean Hannity down and
Yeah,
be
yeah,
reasonable. Um, I'm loving the daily news right now because they are just excoriating Trump, and they went after Chris Christie with the headline "Man with a Klan."
right, right.
See, Christie is now angling for a possible cabinet post in the
Oh,
in the
and
horrific event we get a President Trump. He wants to be Attorney General.
yes, that'd be great. As yes, AG. I mean, that's a job.
Because then he'll
Right,
be able to investigate all the people that are investigating him right now.
right. Right. And put up those roadblocks. No, you're not investigating the attorney general.
Yeah.
Damn it, get out of here. Yeah. What do you think you are?
Well, no. Well, yeah. I mean, he's going to go after everybody that's investigating Bridgegate.
Right.
Um,
Right.
he's going to retaliate, and he does retaliate. I mean,
Oh no, no, no question. Yeah,
actually he and Trump are ideal together.
that's perfect couple. No question about it. Yep. It's even better than the vice president slot. Really. I mean, AG is perfect spot for him for
Yeah.
the Trumpster.
No, no, for Christie.
I mean, yeah, for Christie. Yeah, for Christie, just a great spot for him. Just like I say, just to protect himself from all the other stuff that's going on, Bridgegate and all that stuff. So you can just say, screw that. I'm the AG. You're not going to come after me. Damn it. Take that.
No, no, it's gonna be. I'm gonna come after you now
Right. Exactly. I'm going to
because
come
he's
after
gonna
you.
be able to fire. What he'll do is he'll fire everybody who's been investigating him.
Right. Right. Perfect setup.
Yep.
And all when all the Donald has to do now is win it. Otherwise, that all
Well,
goes straight to hell.
um, you've got people. You've got not crazy Republicans saying we will vote. We will hold our nose and support and vote for Clinton.
Okay.
They recognize,
Rather than Trump. Okay.
yes, they recognize. You know, here's a
If the
they fucked up. Yeah.
right.
Um,
Yeah. If they man. if you got the elite, well, not the elite, but the establishment voting for Clinton, that would be something,
Well, you
wouldn't it?
see, I think everything was fine and dandy, until everybody realized that this man has the support of neo Nazis, white nationalists, the Ku Klux Klan,
Yeah,
and other assorted people that hate you.
everybody except the establishment, basically, or the
No,
rank and file.
no, it's not everybody but the establishment.
Okay.
Trump is appealing to a very is not just dog whistling. Trump has not been doing dog whistles.
At all.
He has
No, he's
been
been
out now
direct, very direct.
recruiting a very he's been doing more to recruit violent supporters than uh, uh, um, Ron Paul did. You know, they're just Trump supporters just aren't curb stomping people. They're you know you know Ron Paul never encouraged the curb stomping, never encouraged his supporters vocally, to to beat up people that disagreed with him. Unlike Trump, who is advocating and actively encouraging, basically a riot. He's inciting riots,
Right, right.
and I'm sure he's got something to say about the Anaheim Klan protest that ended up in violence. And I will say that the anti-Klan protesters did instigate it. Instigate it.
Yeah, going to be interesting, no doubt about that. If the establishment votes for HRC, Hillary Clinton, instead of the Donald or any of the other ones, well, it could be the Donald as a nominee. But if he gets the nomination, holy cow, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
like
I don't know
like
how much that smacks down the Republican Party, but I think it
at
gives it
this
a
point
little
you
push
can't.
up.
We've got to actually what at this point sane American citizens, whether Republican or
Yeah,
Democrat or what, we got to
yep,
stop. We got to stop shit flinging at the ones that woke up a little
right,
too late about the fact that they did not just create a Frank. See, everybody they didn't talk about a Frankenstein. Trump is not yet Frankenstein's monster because he has not. He'll become a Frankenstein's monster when he doesn't get the nomination
right.
and goes to third party. Then you've got a Frankenstein's monster. Then you've
Yeah.
got a golem who turns on the people, on the creators.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Because Donald Trump sees this as a reality show. He does not see this as anything but reality TV, and he's the star now of his own reality show.
yeah. Pretty
And
much.
and if
Yeah,
you're
it
going to
is.
go after anybody for creating what we have now, we've got to go after, not just after CNN and MSNBC that has given him all of this free. Trump hasn't really had to spend a cent on his campaign because he's been able to play the media.
Oh, the media picks up all its coverage, so that's free, of course.
Exactly,
Yeah,
and they don't have to reciprocate and give
he didn't
anybody
really.
else equal time because they're not doing it. They're doing it as
I
a
don't even know
news
if he's running
story.
any ads. He's running damn few ads. I
He
know
doesn't
that.
have to. He doesn't
Right,
have to. He just does. I mean, he doesn't even have to go talk to CNN anymore. I mean, right
right.
now he's playing the CNN base with this bullshit. Megan Kelly. They need Megan Kelly. I don't want that Megan Kelly.
Yeah,
She's. He doesn't like her because she's smarter than Melania.
yeah, right.
Woman who came in on a work visa.
You gotta love it.
Who's nothing
Love
but
it. Love it.
who's like
Well,
she
I think 2016 is a huge election as far as all the characters involved, all the
and
parts,
and so
all the
guys, if,
moving parts.
yeah. So number one, we have to encourage voter registration, getting people out to the fucking
Yeah,
polls to vote because
absolutely.
Sanders supporters, yeah, we support him, but they're not showing up.
Right, right. You got to show
You're
up
not
and
they're
vote.
not
Yep,
fucking showing up.
yep.
And again,
Yeah,
if you're
rallies
in
all you want.
college and you're having problems in your college town registering to vote, you are still fucking registered at home. Get a fucking absentee ballot and use it.
Yep, yep, indeed.
Don't
Yeah,
whine
no
about the
excuses.
fact you can't vote in the city and state for 4 years you're calling home.
Exactly. Yeah,
You are fucking registered. If they're not letting you register in whatever state because you're a student and
Right.
and
Yeah, just vote at home.
talk to your parents and have them get you a damn, make sure you're still on the voter roll and send you an absentee ballot.
That's all. Yep.
No, don't whine about the fact that I can't. I mean, Northwestern's not letting me vote. Illinois,
Yep.
University of Kansas isn't letting me vote because they're saying I don't have my student ID is not good enough.
Yep.
And for those of you that live in, who are worried about disenfranchising people that don't have photo identification, then what you do is you help those individuals get the documentation they need to get a fucking photo ID. Because number one, once they, you can scream all you want about needing a photo identification to vote, but those people are also less than not likely to have any other resources. They're not going to
Right.
be able to get food. They're not going to be. They're going to have problems getting housing because they don't have ID. They cannot prove identity.
Right. Yeah, and the Republicans make it even more difficult for that stuff. So no
Well,
ID,
you see
no
now,
food.
you see now, and but there's something, but there's a sweet irony about Donald Trump and the possibility about his becoming the Republican nominee.
Right.
The mainstream
Which is
Republicans, Reince Priebus and all of his friends and all of the sane people, even the billionaires that aren't throwing any money into this race,
right.
are going to make sure that everybody is going to be able to fucking vote this year. You are going to see so many changes to these restrictive voter ID laws,
With any luck.
or you're going to suddenly see the Voting Right Acts in states that are suddenly southern states and all that suddenly change, and you're going to find that people are not going to have that big a problem getting to the polls and getting ID and shit like that.
Right.
Because one of the things Trump, everybody is going over has been like, waving their hands and running around with their hair on fire over his comments about the libel laws and making it easier for celebrity people in the news to sue for libel. I don't like what you're saying about me. I'm suing you, even if it's Trump suing you. But what he's also said is that he's got no problem in church and state being one. That's a bigger threat. He's all about making,
Yep.
and he's talking to the people that want to see, folks. You got to remember that all tyrannies start with the scapegoating of one group, and it doesn't stop.
No, I mean, yeah, they come after the next group and then the next group and the next group. Yeah, you're right.
There's a lot of there's a lot of so everyone as American citizens has an obligation to repudiate Trump and the ugly humans that are supporting him. Not one of the other candidates on the Republican side has come out and what the fuck, Ben Carson?
Yeah.
This you're running you're allegedly running against somebody whose backers would like to see you as 3/5 of a doctor.
Right. Exactly.
In fact, they'd just like to see you not as a doctor.
Yeah, possible. Yeah.
But then again, there's always that possibility that see a lot. One of the things I'm kind of wondering that's been brought up about Ben Carson is his demeanor and all of that, and I'm kind of wondering, and I don't know if anybody's brought this up, but is there a possibility that he is somewhere seriously on the autism spectrum, like the Asperger's spectrum? He doesn't really make eye contact. He doesn't really show a lot of emotion.
No, he does not. He does not make eye
and
contact.
I'm just wondering about that.
Does not come across as anybody that really cares much about any other than, I guess, winning the presidency. Other than that, I guess.
I don't think he even wants that because I don't.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem like he's involved.
I mean, he's not. He seems to be very
engaged,
removed
whatever.
from everything.
Yeah.
He's very he seems, and they're and if he is on the spectrum, then cool. We've got our first, you know,
Autistic
yeah,
president, I guess. I don't know.
candidate. But then again, there's
Yeah.
that feel of disassociation, which is also not, which is not, um,
It's kind of Trump's, I
as
guess,
far as I know, something that can be attributed to being on the spectrum. But that disassociation and that kind of like I'm here but not really. He's not really in his body when he talks.
right, exactly right. Yeah.
I'm
That's pretty
sorry,
much
I'm
it.
not in my body right now. But if you leave
Yeah.
a message at the
But
beep,
but you can still
beep.
vote for me regardless.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not here doesn't mean I'm not
I
here.
mean, it's evident that nobody is like voting for him, but still.
Right. Right. Yeah. Uh, I don't. You can't win people over like that because number one, you got to make eye contact. I mean, that's kind of number one. If you're not doing that, I don't know how you're going to win votes. Really, I mean, people got to see that you are who you say you are, kind of thing. Uh, but he doesn't. He hasn't done that at all from day one. Even on the talk shows, he doesn't come across as anybody being anything other than somebody wanting to win the president, I guess. And a lot of the clown car actually candidates were like that. Uh,
And not even Cruz.
Huckleberry, although not that
Not, yeah, none of them have it.
attached,
I mean, not even
detached.
Cruz,
So
or Rubio have like said and taken a swing at Trump over the bigots. The people. The racists and the neo Nazis. I mean, Trump is being backed by people that would like even like throw Cruz and Rubio out because now Trump is going after Rubio, saying, well, maybe he's not eligible either because his parents weren't citizens when he was born.
right, right.
You might be an American citizen, but you're not eligible because your parent
He's an
because you're
anchor
just a
baby.
fucking anchor baby.
Yeah, he's an anchor baby, and I guess I don't know. I
But
think if
Cruz
you're
is the
born
one with
here,
the
you're
biggest
pretty. I
amount
don't
of
care where you
trouble
came from.
regarding
You're
his
pretty much American
citizenship
citizen.
status, his
Yep.
eligibility status, because the one thing he has not shown, and it would have, and it's something he should have, released along with everything else was the document that showed his mother went to the consulate after he was born and said, I'm an American citizen and I just gave birth here in Canada. And there would have been
Right.
a consular record of birth abroad issued
Yep. There you go.
that would have showed that, yes, he is an American citizen.
Yep.
So,
But
so
that
that's,
paperwork
yeah.
does not exist, I guess. So I don't know.
He hasn't said whether or not it exists.
Right. Okay.
There,
Well,
and
yeah.
and at this
You know.
point, it's too little, too late for him to release it because everyone's gonna since uh, Trump has kind of like put it into people's head. They're gonna say it's a forged document, like they did with Obama's birth certificate.
Yeah. Same thing.
I mean,
But
that was the
you
one
know.
stupid thing the president did, is that at the time he fell into Trump's little trap about birth certificates because he was able to play that, saying, "I'm more powerful than the president. See what I was able to do
Right. Right.
because I'm Donald Trump."
Yeah. I can dodge that. I don't need any.
And did you hear the excuse that he gave for not hiring Americans for his hotels?
Oh no, I didn't catch that. No.
Seasonal work. It's only 30, 90 days, and they don't want to work like that. That's why I have to bring in H-1B people who work for less money, and I can hold on to their passports and threaten them anytime I want.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Dude,
They don't show up
I
at
would.
work.
I
I can
mean,
boot their ass.
I work temp. My job ends at the end of March. I would gladly take that work for 90 days.
Hell yeah.
I'd have a fucking
Yeah.
paycheck.
Yeah. It's a paycheck, and those are nice.
But he doesn't want to have. He's abusing he like so many others like Disneyland are abusing the H-1B visa system because there's a loophole in here. I mean, the system was set up for companies to bring in foreign workers, to bring in foreign employees, if they could not find skilled Americans to do the job. But there's a nice little, apparently there's a loophole which allows them to circumvent the we can't find a qualified American, so therefore we have to bring somebody in because Disney just brought people in to be trained by the people that just got laid off
Yep.
because they
There you go.
cost less.
Right. Yep.
There's qualified IT techs out there, but they cannot get jobs because corporations abuse the H-1B visa process.
Yep.
I brought that up on my show today, and and I just want to see that. I don't want to see the H-1B technicians being taken advantage of because they are, and the loophole needs to be closed, which um, sirens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Force the companies into actually going through the shell, the farce of interviewing Americans. I mean, it's sort of like B&H Photo um, for a very long time didn't hire women. You could apply, but you would not get hired because, as qualified as you might be to sell cameras or video gear or audio gear, you lacked one qualification.
Right.
But they at least went through the motions of accepting your resume.
Yeah. At least they did that. Yeah.
They may not have hired you, but they took your resume and looked at it, and and you didn't hear back from them. It's because, hey, somebody, you didn't have enough qualifications until you walked in and realized that everybody working in the store was male that was on the sales
Right.
floor,
Right.
and all the
Exactly. Right.
women
Yeah.
and all the women were
Yep.
either greeters giving or working at the cashiers.
Right.
You know, Speaking of which, they're being B&H is being sued again by their not by their warehouse workers, um, male and female, for being for employment violations, like allegedly not um, giving them promotion opportunities, wages, and for the women not change. They don't have any changing facilities for the women.
Right.
I did some work at the warehouse uh, that Adorama uses, which is another Hasidic run camera store here in Manhattan. And well, there weren't any women working in the warehouse until
Right.
myself and another woman came in to do some work and and with some other people to relabel. Oh God knows how many pallets filled with mislabeled boxes or badly labeled boxes. We were the first ones to use their women's rooms, but they had
Uh-huh.
facilities for women in the warehouse, even though they didn't have any women working in the warehouse.
Right.
So there's it's just like one I think
Well,
Adorama
I
also
would think in the 21st century we would have facilities for women. I don't care
not
where you
necessarily.
live.
You see,
Yeah.
there is there is a concept of modesty in where it's where men and women not related are not supposed to be in close proximity to each other for no other reason than human nature.
Yeah. Exactly. Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
so it's not so they're not putting anything on women in their wicked wily ways. It's on human nature being such, men and women in the same proximity to same area together, not related. There is a possibility of hanky panky.
Yeah.
Um, which is why if you guys ever walk into B&H Photo and you're checking out, you will notice that the guys that the people at the registers, they can't see each other because of they're like in little like open cubicles, so they're like they can't see the person on either side of them because of that modesty thing. You don't want innocent joking being misconstrued by one party or the other, and flirt.
Right.
You just don't.
Yeah.
Men and women working, writing, the cubicles are all going to be open, so you don't have to worry about, you know, you don't, and
As long as there's an element of privacy there, I think you're good. You're good to go.
well, in the areas where it needs to be private, there's privacy, but they just, but you don't tell somebody I'm not hiring you because it's against our religion. That's how you get sued.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently, at this point, Mr. Trump has not weighed in on the violence that broke out at the Klan rally in Anaheim.
No. He's probably cheered that on actually. So I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
but
not. Maybe.
you'd be sure he would have had something to say for that.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
would think.
Daily News
Yeah.
Targets is now going after Christie with Man with a Klan, and it's just perfect.
Yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of elements to this election that are just it's getting to be fun. There's no question. and more elements this year than pretty much any year in the last 20 years, I think. So it's not your same old election this year, that's for sure.
Yeah, and oh, by the way, in case you didn't hear the news about there were like 3 people arrested, but there
Right.
was one protester that was impaled on a flagpole by one of the Klansmen.
Yeah.
But yes, the anti-Klan protesters started it. They actually threw the first physical. One could argue the Klan started it by showing up, but the anti-Klan protesters started it by throwing the first punches.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, and CPAC needs your need. I got a on one of the mailing lists I'm on. Uh, I got a letter from CPAC saying, "Can you donate money so we can bring people in because we're money. We need money because
Yeah. Yeah. We need more money. No question about it.
because we need to bring more. We need to brainwash younger people again."
Yes. You gotta love it. Um, just nonstop. Yeah. It's going to be March. Kicking in March in another couple of days. So I think this thing will start to heat up as far as more and more rank and file starting to pay attention to it. So it should get more fun.
Oh yeah, Jean
And
Marie
up
Le
until
Pen,
this point, it's
and
been
and
walks pretty
and
much.
if you want even more reason not to support Donald Trump, Le Pen, um, the the um, the French white supremacist right winger endorsed Trump.
Ah, there you go. Well, he's got some major endorsements, no doubt, and kind of interesting, no question. Like I said, I don't see him winning it. He may win the nomination, but I don't see how he beats the Democrat. I don't care which one it is or who it is. I think the Democrat's going to beat the Donald
Um,
pretty fairly easily. Not easily, but they'll certainly beat him. Going to be tough in some of the
Trump will
swing
beat them
states,
as
though.
long as the media gives short shrift to anyone running against him.
Yeah, there's the
I
media
mean,
thing because the
you know,
media's in love with him and all that kind of stuff. The whole thing with the media, love fest, I guess.
oh, he's so
But
funny and colorful.
yeah,
They don't take him
yeah,
seriously. You know who else they didn't take seriously? Stalin.
right. There you go. Exactly right. Yeah. But yeah,
George
so we got that.
Wallace.
I mean, they may just be able to fend off Hillary or Bernie in the general election campaign. But man, holy cow! I'm hoping the American voter populace sees through all that, and we'll see if we can. I'm sure the DNC's got enough money to kind of trump the Trump too. So hopefully they'll spend it instead of hanging on to it. But we'll see. But I guess the Hillary war chest keeps growing and growing, so it shouldn't be any problem. And Bernie can pretty much raise funds by snapping his finger and either come up with $3-4 million right out, boom, overnight. So that's how that works. But should be fun. I guess your computer's on the way, or at least been ordered, and maybe within a couple of weeks we'll have that.
No, I'll have it next week.
Available.
They took they drained they my it's been paid for, so it's I just
Yeah,
need to
it's all
wait.
set, ready to
Just
rock and
need to
roll.
wait
Yeah,
for the email thing.
very
Oh
cool.
baby, pick me up.
Yeah, yeah,
Set me
indeed.
up.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh,
So that'll be
set
good.
me up.
Yes. So that
You're
will be.
listening to At the Table here on Netroots Radio. At the Table. No, you're listening to the
Okay.
Roundhouse Power Hour here on netrootsradio.com and live on Spreaker.com. Team and Netroots. Yay!
Yes.
Got to give a
Yes.
thanks
Yes.
to the good folks
All the gang
over
there is
good
Spreaker too,
folks at
so it's good.
Unity Networks who keep us up and
Yes.
running. Um, Unity Networks is located on the San Carlos Apache Reservation in Arizona,
Yes.
and we have IT guy Sunscreen in Londinium, and then we've got Fripp, not that one, and Yuri Hu
Yeah.
up in Kanekistan,
Yes.
and Justice over in Oregon, and maybe he'll like drop in on Portland once in a while once the Bundy trial gets underway to give us some awesomeness. Um, Um, whoa. Yeah, I just dropped my connection from. What happened? Oh no! Oh no! Yay! Yeah! Wee! Ooh. Do, 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 do. I'm calling them back just to see what happens here.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
there you are. What did
There.
you do? Hang up on me? How dare you?
Yeah.
How
Skype. I guess.
dare you? Um,
I love it.
yeah.
Gotta love Skype.
What was I blithering on about? Oh yeah, it was you
The Bundy
dropped the
trial.
call. Yeah, the Bundy trial. There's actually some guy that's been attending the trials, and because they're not like reporting, allowing cameras
Right.
in the room in the room, he's been doing courtroom drawings, but they're all hilarious stick figures. They're
Yeah.
absolutely hilarious. They're very. It's like you know.
That should be a riot.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna bring my second grader in and let him draw his impressions of the trial, and
Heck
it's
yeah.
funnier than all
Yeah.
shit.
Love it. Yeah.
So
Why not?
so it's like it's a yeah.
Get the kids. Get the elementary school kids in there
Oh
doing the
no,
drawings.
this is an
Okay.
adult drawing. He draws like a second
Okay.
grader,
All right.
and they're really funny. Like Eamon Bundy, trying to talk over the judge and just saying sit, and Bundy's going
Right.
no. it's it's the sketches coming out from this guy are going to be hilarious.
Yeah. It's gonna be like the OJ trial, I guess.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Not even it's not even close to that. I mean,
Okay.
the guys that
Well, I thought
what they're going to try and
in
do
terms of
is
coverage,
exclude all
basically.
the video shit that was broadcast while these guys were occupying the place and everything, saying, "Well, it's against they're violating their Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination." Blah 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 blah. And they're going to try and get all of that excluded because that's how they're going to because they convicted themselves.
Yeah.
They
Yeah. You
want to
take away the video evidence, and I guess there is no
they're
evidence.
claiming
So,
Santilli, I was just, this is my First Amendment rights are being violated. No, dude, you can be clearly heard in your broadcasts, exerting control over what's going on. You're part and parcel of the conspiracy. Um, but they're going to do, and then there's the issue of the law firm representing them that they actually went on to apparently went they went on to they went to Mahler to talk to Bundy. At that point they say they weren't representing him, but apparently they advised him how to make sure that he did not get nailed for anything that went down there.
right.
And then they decided that they were representing him. So the question becomes, um, if they didn't, since their initial visits were not attorney-client, can they be compelled to talk about it? Can they, be indicted? I mean, there's already been an ethics violation um, filed against the lawyer Arnold by another firm, and the guy's going, "Oh well, he's a narcissist. That's why he's doing this. He just wants the fucking publicity." Uh, but apparently this particular attorney um, is not a stranger to ethics violations. Apparently, he was cited for getting when he was a prosecutor. He apparently took a defendant who was being prosecuted for drinking while underage and took her out and drinking underage, and he got cited for that. Had an
Yeah.
got an ethical, violation,
Yep.
and so it's like it doesn't, yeah. So so now you've
Yeah.
got
There's
the
all.
legal grifters. You've got,
Yeah. It's pretty good. It's already set up to be a pretty good case. Like I said, I think it's like OJ and the fact that the coverage, just the way this thing's going to be covered
no, it's not going to be covered
via
that way.
media.
Um, see, no, it's not going to be covered as a media circus. If it was, you would have had media all over, that place.
Okay.
But they just didn't give a shit about some wildlife refuge,
Yeah.
where there were some Native American, burial grounds that,
Right. Right.
See, what I would like to do is, I would like to find where Bundy's ancestors are buried, dig a slit trench next to their graves, and take a crap in it.
There you go.
And because we get our knickers all in a twist when the headstones are knocked over, and it's
Right.
all over the damn papers. It's all over the news. I mean, then your people are like, "Oh God, it's disgusting, despicable! How dare they, knock over these headstones? They desecrated and vandalized the graveyard." But not one person, not one religious leader, be they Christian or Jew or Muslim or Buddhist or what, has called out these people for shitting on the graves of Native Americans. Literally, not literally, actually taking a shit on their graves.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And if that had happened in a Jewish cemetery, you wouldn't have heard the end of it. If it happened in a Christian cemetery, you wouldn't have heard the end of it. If it happened in a Muslim cemetery, you would never have heard the end of it.
But Native Americans, we
You can
can.
take a shit, you can shit on them, and
Yeah.
no one's going to blink an eye.
Yeah. Since we pretty much have since day one here, so yeah.
And also there's this whole thing. There is, the Koch brothers and their ilk are behind all of this nonsense.
Yes. Yes, they are.
They are. They're putting money into it. I mean, they're funding this bullshit because they want they want these lands privatized so they can strip them.
Right. Get all these freaking national parks privatized.
Do these ranchers who want the states to take back federal lands actually think that they're going to get a better deal than what they're getting from the American people?
Well,
the American taxpayers, cattle ranching does not make a lot of money. These guys are not wealthy as ranchers.
Okay, yeah.
Which is why a lot of them also have another business that supports them. Like Lavoy Finicum wasn't making money ranching. He and his family were making money fostering children. They were making over $110,000 a year as foster parents. And if this is a man that was saying the government's got no right to tell me what to do, but I'll gladly take the money.
Yep.
And he also went into a big whinge about the fact that when he went up to they came in and took the children out of the house because of his antics. While he was still alive, his antics up in Oregon, and he was whining about how they took away their income. We were making $110,000 a year fostering, fostering the kids and getting free fucking ranch labor.
Yep.
And you've got state representatives that think that their authority extends into other states. You've got these idiots, I guess, in Wisconsin, want to make as soon as you're elected to the assembly, you become a lawyer. You don't even have to fucking go to law school anymore. You just have to get elected to the assembly. And all about the law.
Exactly, yeah. Just pass the bar and you're in. No problem at all.
No, not pass the bar. They don't even have to
pass the bar.
Just get elected and you're a lawyer. I'm a lawyer.
Close enough. Bypass the bar exam, the whole bit.
Exactly. Who needs to understand the fucking law to be a lawyer? They got it wrong anyway. These constitutional scholars, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Well, they interpret it just like anybody else does.
No, they don't. I mean, you've got a bunch of people that are saying that our president is only 3/5 of a president, and that's why he doesn't get to nominate. Although going back to the specter of Donald Trump becoming president,
yes,
you're gonna see Obama get his nominees. Everybody fill all those
court slots,
languishing court slots being filled because they're looking at Trump going, holy fucking shit, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the Donald cares one way or the other who the hell's in those slots,
he doesn't.
Really.
No. He's going to appoint whoever flatters him the most.
There you go, yeah.
That's why he's actually dangerous on the world stage.
Yep.
Putin's read him beautifully. All you have
Yeah,
to do to
Putin's
get
got him
over on
down.
Trump is say something nice about him.
Yeah.
Say something mean,
It's
and you're at you're
well, like I
he
say, it's the game show host, and you want to be good to the game show host,
no
no
he's
doubt
he,
about it.
no he's it's yeah. I mean he's the boss.
Yeah, yeah,
The man doesn't have a fucking original idea in his head. I mean, all the projects that people came up with on Celebrity Apprentice were
yeah.
wonderful. There were some great things that were created. Including the one type of snap. One of the competitors on Celebrity Apprentice, forget who he was, country musician, but he's a diabetic. So he went and created, a Snapple flavor that was, that the American Diabetes Association could put their stamp of approval on.
Right.
You know, I would like to come out with a line of foods that are not salted. I am, how many, there's. I would like to see companies that do canned things reduce the amount, not even put salt into their products. They don't need
Right.
it. I mean, I was really stupid tired today. I actually forgot to take my Adderall, um, which not only helps me focus, but it lets me get through my work day without completely falling apart
Right.
from tiredness. And I went to do some shopping to cook dip, so I get some vegetables for dinner tonight, and I couldn't. And I was looking at the soups and the broths, and I could not believe the amount of sodium
Yep.
in some of these things. You know, um, just take the salt out of it. You don't need it. Let somebody because when you're using stock, you're gonna add your own seasoning to it. So just take the fucking salt out of the broth and let
Yeah, you can add your own. Yeah.
or I mean some of it is like 50 is like um like looking at some of the sodium content in some of these, it's like 900 and some odd you know milligrams of salt, which is like over a quarter of your daily intake. you know
Yeah.
so
Easily.
and
Yeah.
and reduced sodium has like half of that amount of sodium in it, like
Right.
480. So just take the fucking salt, reduce the salt even more.
Right.
People are not going to use just a single cup of broth when they're cooking.
There you go. Yep.
I mean, when I use my crock pot, I usually like make enough for like two servings that I like pig it out and eat in one sitting. Instead of, oh, I can have leftovers. No, I'm going to eat it all now.
Right. Right.
So I end up being bloated for a day.
There you go. Yeah, it's just the way our, I guess, our food situation is, where they want to
well,
load it up with salt,
well,
sodium.
that was the other thing I was railing on about today on at the table is the amount of salt and processed in processed food. I mean, even canned stuff is processed, people. But the difference,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
um,
Yeah, if it's in a can, it's by definition processed, I guess you'd say.
but
Yeah.
it's a different type of process than
Yeah.
normal because it's, um, but when I open up a can of vegetables, one of the first things I do is throw it into a colander and rinse it to get all the rest of the salt out,
There you go.
wash it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it's the vegetables are cooked. Um, Now, Ricky is saying that they would use salt as a preservative. They don't need to use salt as a preservative anymore because of the manufacturing process. In fact, odds are they're putting more
Yeah.
salt
The
into
can
something
itself is
when
yeah,
they,
basically the
again,
preserve.
it's also about enhancing flavor. Salt is a flavor
Yeah.
enhancer.
Yeah. It is.
Um, you know, so I mean, I don't cook with salt because I already know that whatever I'm going to put into the crock pot's already got salt. If it's something, like cold, if it's like canned vegetables, it's already going to be, or something out of a
Yeah. It's
can.
gonna be
It's got
salty
salt
enough.
in it.
And
I
yeah.
mean, Rotel just came out with a salt-free tomatoes, and a sauce, diced tomatoes and chilies without salt in it. So
Right.
it's
Right.
possible to, so you don't need to can shit with salt anymore. You don't need it as a preservative because if it's in a can, it doesn't need, it's already preserved. If it's in a sealed box, it doesn't require refrigeration till opening. It's preserved.
Yeah. Yeah.
They put the salt in a lot of these things because they reduce the fat, and especially in frozen foods. You got to replace that flavor with something, and we'll do it with sodium. You know,
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. That's mostly the ingredient for flavor. Yeah. I guess that. Yeah. You're right. You're right.
but like I said,
Gotta
I
gotta
can
have
I can
flavor
cook
somehow.
I can cook a meal without salt, and you won't want the salt. But if
Yeah. I
you
don't add
still may
salt to
want the
anything.
salt, but at least you won't be consuming too much of it.
Yeah. I
When
put
I was
salt
cooking
on
at
my
home, I
eggs
did
and my
not.
home
When I
fries.
would
That's it.
when well, I was still living at home and cooking. I wouldn't cook with salt. Go, Mrs. Dash. And the table blends. And I rarely saw my dad or my brother put salt on whatever I cooked.
Right.
So it's not really needed. I love watching the cooking shows, but I look at the salt, a pinch of salt, and I look at it and going, that's like a half a teaspoon of salt you're using there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then you hear
Yeah.
them in the shows going, there's not enough salt.
Yeah. Not enough salt. Gotta put some more salt on there. Yeah. Yeah. The only thing I salt is my eggs and my home fries. That's it. That's the only thing I use salt for at all, as far as
I don't even do that. Mrs.
sprinkling on
Dash, you can
food.
get those, you know, table blends,
Yeah. There's all
Fiesta
kinds of stuff.
lime, spicy blend, Italian blend, you know.
Yeah. Got about 30 seconds.
And I
Got
talked
to
all
get
the
out
way
of here.
through, and I didn't let you get a word in edgewise.
No, I did pretty good. I just said it in the background. It's all good. We'll be back here, of course, next Saturday night.
Same bad
And
time, same bad chase, and oh yeah,
yeah,
and by the way, if you like what you hear, support Netroots Radio by going to netrootsradio.com, scrolling down to the page, and clicking on the Patreon link and become a
yeah,
Patreon. And who knows, you might get something other than a cool bumper sticker.
yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yes, indeed. Other than a
Yeah.
bumper sticker, but yeah, we got those too. But yeah. All right, we're out. We got to
Have a
go.
good night, everybody. Bye.
Yep.